Hello everyone, it's Oluwadare again, and yes, I'll be talking on advanced audit and assurance. So advanced audit and assurance actually won a prize on that. Yes. So for advanced audit and assurance, the first thing I'll still say is that make sure you read all your pack. Make sure you read all the chapters in your study pack. Remember during my study approach, during my corporate reporting, and now this is advanced audit and assurance, I am still reiterating the point that you should make sure you cover the entire study pack. Firstly, because it gives you this confidence that whatever it is the examiner is bringing, you have an idea of it, so it calms you down. Unlike when you are so tensed about meeting what you didn't read for, and then eventually forget the things you have read for. So the first thing is make sure you cover the entire study pack. And then the second one is, advanced audit and assurance involves a lot of visas, and in fact the number of visas we have in this world, they are very well more than the IFRS and the IAS combined. So before you start going into the visas, I want you to be grounded in the other areas of advanced audit and assurance. If you open your advanced audit and assurance study packs now, you see that the introductory aspect talks about the reporting environment in Nigeria. Yes, you see it talks about accounting ethics and all those things that are still easy for you to relate with. Everything in advanced audit and assurance is not all about ISAs. So you still see it talks about the regulatory body in accounting. I can remember that I think they tested that during my diet. So make sure you read all those things that are like one thing. When you have an exam to do and you feel that this course is rather complex or not straightforward, it is best for you to start from what you know. When you start from the things that are easy and you are able to easily relate with, by the time you be approaching the tougher things, you would have gained some level of comfort, in the sense that you'll be able to delve into those ones with ease. Unlike you just starting from somewhere that is so difficult, it makes you lose interest easily. But when you have studied the things that are easy for you to relate with and remember, then approaching the complex ones won't be that difficult, because even by that time you would have started enjoying what you are studying. So now for the ISAs, one thing about this ISAs is, it is one thing for you to know the ISAs, understand the ISAs, be able to put down the ISAs, questions on the ISAs, and then it is another thing for you to understand what the examiner is asking for and the right answers to put for it. What I'm saying is that it is very much easy for you to read a particular question and then answer with your full chest the wrong set of answers. Because if you are not careful, the way the questions go for, especially as it relates to ISAs, you will read a particular question, and as you are reading, you already know the ISA you are going to put to it, but please try and wait, read the question to the end. By the time you read the question to the end, ponder on it, and then understand what the examiner wants you to put down. Because I think, I wrote May 2022 diet, and I think I went through November 2021 diet, yes, and the diet before it, that's May 2021, and then I saw this same thing there. The same thing happened there. What happened was that as I was going through the ISA, I saw a question. The question was going, and I was like, this is the ISA they are talking about. But then eventually, when I saw the answers, I said that no, if I had attempted that question with this I had in mind, it would have been woeful, and I would have been thinking that I did so well by answering the questions. What I'm saying, that you have to understand what the examiner is saying. It's so possible for the question to look as if it involves two different ISAs, but then you have to be able to understand the exact requirement that the examiner wants you to do. So what I've seen is that make sure you know the ISAs, be able to understand the ISAs, and then be able to put things down. Then make sure you read and understand the question very well on advanced audit and assurance. And then cover your pack. See, audit and assurance is very, very, very voluminous, but I still recommend you cover your pack, because ICAN still has plenty ways to bring out questions from, because it looks as if the pack itself is inexhaustible. So make sure you cover your study pack. And then make sure you put down notes. Yes, write your notes. Advanced Audit and Assurance is voluminous, but then have your own notes. Well, I don't know, some people work with study packs, but for me, at least I'll be talking from my own perspective because it is what has worked for me over time, even as an undergraduate, so it worked for me then too. So I always write my notes. If you see my Advanced Audit and Assurance notes, it is voluminous. It is very well detailed because as I am reading the topics, I make sure I put things down. I write my notes because it is easier to carry about notes, higher education notes, or maybe still is than you going about with the entire Advanced Audit and Assurance study packs. So sometimes even if I'm going to work and I just have to slip it in, it's so easy to go about with it. I have to be somewhere that I cannot avoid and I know I need to read, so I can easily go about with my notes. And again, sometimes when you just see the study packs, you can just get discouraged down, but this thing is just much. When am I going to finish it? But the fact that you have your notes, it aids revision. And then I mentioned this during my study approach. I said I do revision a lot. I do revision a lot. Take for instance, I studied chapter 1 to chapter 6, and then I want to read chapter 7. I'll tell myself, before I go on to chapter 7, let me even go back and see what I have been reading from chapter 1 to chapter 6. Do you know the funniest is that by the time I go to chapter 1 to chapter 6, then the revision, I see some things that I begin to wonder if I was the one that put them there because I have even forgotten I read them. So imagine I did not go over them again. I'll just be counting the number of chapters I have read, not knowing that a lot of things have left me long ago. So always go over your notes. Go over your notes as much as possible. It will really help you, especially with these voluminous courses like Advanced Audit and Assurance, PSAF 2. Yes, PSAF 2. That's skills. PSAF 2 is a very, very voluminous pack. So always go over your notes. I've said a lot of things. Advanced Audit and Assurance. Make sure you read the non-ISA chapters. The chapters that are so easy for you to relate with, those ones are still straightforward. It's easy for you to put them in your head and put them back. Then for the ISAs, make sure you read your ISAs, make sure you understand them and find a way for you to be able to put them down. You see, most of these they involve, they say what happens when something happens with the management and then you see step 1, do this. So make sure you find a way that aids your remembering the steps, the things to follow for the ISAs. And then after you have understood this as and you are able to put them down exactly as it is, make sure you understand the question so that you will not be writing something that is so beautiful in the wrong question. My friend will say beautiful nonsense so that you don't write beautiful nonsense. What you wrote actually makes sense, but it would have been so effective if you wrote it for the right question. So make sure you understand the question very, very, very well, and then keep your notes detailed as possible. Then the last one, make sure you do your revision over and over again. Revise as much as you can, and then cover your entire study pack. Don't do permutation, don't do forecasting that this one cannot come out. I think that's I saw a meme that said it will not come out in examination. Say failure a thought 2022. So please stop saying this one will not come out in examination. Just read everything. I know it's not easy, but then see, I did it, and if I could do it, you can do it. Thank you very much.